Reno, by the time we are done with you, even Tinubu will want nothing to do with you. You think you can just go to the honest bunch to act your script, to impress Tinubu that you are a political consultant? You think you can just do that and then you get away with it? Then Tinubu will be so impressed, and then that position they promised you as ambassador, then they will now give it to you? Since the one you did, the lie you told for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, that one is not enough. It didn't cut it. Tinubu was not impressed. So you decided to do this one, and you think you will get away with it. You joke. By the time we are done with you, even Tinubu himself will not want to touch you, will not want to have anything to do with you. Beginning from now till February of 2027, every day we'll be playing and showing to you and Nigerians all the things you said about Tinubu, how he is a known drug lord, how he will destroy Nigeria, how he will devalue the naira, how he will do all of those things that you said. You say you want to pull down Peter Obi? You want to destroy his reputation? Let us see whose reputation will be destroyed. I didn't even know that you were an identity thief. That is what Showore has said. In fact, it's not even about you. If it was about you, I wouldn't even bother to do this video. We will expose you to Nigerians, and we will expose you to even Tinubu himself in a way that Tinubu, has not seen. He will not want anything to do with you. In my place, they will say, Reno, Omokri. It get meaning for Urubo. Go and ask any Urubo person. Regardez là-bas.
Yesterday, I did a video calling on Bola Tinubu to answer a simple question. Just yes or no. Are you a drug lord? Because we've got documents showing that you were involved in a heroin cartel in Chicago between the years of 1991 and 1993. Because we don't want a person who is connected to drugs being our president. Well-meaning people reached out to me and said, look, leave this matter, it's in the past. Why should I leave this matter? How do you know it's in the past? Look at the kind of cartel behavior that Bola Tinubu has been exhibiting since 1999. Everybody who wants to be anything from governor to commissioner to other positions in Lagos have to come through him. That is a typical cartel behavior. Because we don't want a Pablo Escobar kind of president. We don't want Nigeria to be reduced to Colombia. We already have enough problems with insecurity. We don't want drug cartels now fighting over. We don't want anybody to make our president vulnerable. These are questions. Yes or no, Bola Tinubu, were you a drug lord?
I do not like Bola Tinubu because I know for a fact that he's a known drug lord. I do not like the fact that he's a known drug lord.
You've called Asiwaju a drug lord and so many unprintable names you've spoken about with regards to candidates.
Well, that's not true. I mean, if you can tell me the unprintable names that I've said, please say it here. That is false, Ayo. I've not used any unprintable names.
Is drug lord a pleasant name? Is that something you can...
No. Please, can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Drug lord is not an unprintable name. If you are a drug lord, first and foremost, if you are a thief, it is not liable to say you are a thief. How am I going to tell you that if you are a thief, I'll come and meet you and say, oh, you are a nice person who diplomatically likes to take things that do not belong to you? No, you are a thief. Bola Tinubu is a non-drug lord. It's not an unprintable word. I've got facts to back it up. I've got documents to back it up. I spent my money. I went to Chicago. I went to the court. I got the certified true copies. Bola Tinubu is a drug lord. That is not an unprintable name. If you have a background with drugs, that's an issue. Look at what happened in Colombia. They had a president who had a non-drug lord background. It affected their country, effectively bankrupted that country.
The question I want to ask you as a Nigerian voter, do you want a known drug lord as your president? Because it's going to have effects on you. It's going to have ramifications on you, on your passport, on your currency, on the way people view you abroad. This is a national existential crisis. Look, go and research what happened in Colombia. Go and research what happened in Panama. It affected even school children. Bola Tinubu is a known drug lord. Bola Tinubu is a known drug lord. He has this man who's meant to be the Minister of Labour and Productivity, or rather say on productivity, who went on TV to try to hoodwink Nigerians, telling them that the charge against Bola Tinubu was just for tax, that all he paid was tax, that it had nothing to do with drugs. That is a big lie. I have the document here. Nigerians can see it. I hope you can see it on the screen here. I have the document here. It actually says, and if you look at it, it says docket. A docket, and as I'm speaking, your viewers can go on Google and fact check me. A docket is used for a criminal pending. A criminal pending. So you don't use a docket for a civil matter. And then right on the very first paragraph on this docket, it says that this is a forfeiture action under section under 21 USC section 881. USC is the United States Criminal Code. I will state it again. USC is the United States Criminal Code. Now, if you're watching at home, you can go on Google and you can fact check me. The United States Criminal Code is Title 18 USC, United States Criminal Code. And I'm going to read what section 881 of the USC, the Criminal Code, says. Now, this is it. I'm reading it. Nigerians can see it here. This is what I'm reading. It says, the following shall be subject to forfeiture to the United States, and no property rights shall exist in them. All monies, negotiable instruments, securities, or other things of value furnished or intended to be furnished by any person in exchange for a controlled substance or listed chemical in violation of this subchapter. All proceeds traceable to such an exchange, and all monies, negotiable instruments, and securities used or intended to be used to facilitate any violation of this subchapter. The word used there is controlled substances. Now, for Nigerians who may not understand this, a controlled substance are what they call narcotics, hard drugs. In this case, it was white heroin. Bola Tinubu was involved in a white heroin cartel. We know, and he was the treasurer of that cartel. And then he put some monies into an account. He was working for Mobil, and as he was working for Mobil, his salary was $2,400. Yet he paid in a total of $1.4 million into several accounts. Now, he was asked to explain how he got those monies. He could not explain how he got those monies. So, one of those accounts, the monies in there, $460,000, it was forfeited to the United States government. It was not taxed. Now, there is only one agency of the United States government that has been given the authority to take forfeited amount, and that is the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. If you look at the case of the U.S. state, the state versus Ishmael Zambalda, who was the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel, the exact same language that was used in this docket is the exact same language that was used for that man, Ishmael Zambalda. And if you're watching me, you can Google it. That it says that you agree to forfeit $5 million to the United States. Word for word with what was used for Bola Tinubu. The only difference is the amount. Bola Tinubu forfeited $460,000. Ishmael Zambalda forfeited $5 million. But the source of the money came from the same place, drugs.
You're going to ask me, who do I think will make the best president? I would say, and it's going to upset a lot of people, but I would say Peter Obi. Peter Obi would be an absolutely fabulous president. If Peter Obi were president of Nigeria, Nigeria would be like Dubai in a matter of years.
I listened to Governor Peter Obi, and ex-Governor Peter Obi, the plans, the ideas, this man raised the bar of leadership in Nigeria. He raised the bar of leadership in Nigeria. Since he left office, can you believe that this man does not take anything, not even like a penny from the Anambra State government? And while he was there, he was a man that built up Anambra State. Anambra State used to be almost educationally disadvantaged. And then in less than 2 years, he brought them to be number one. He left that state with a reserve. Look, we need people like this. I'm so proud of Governor Obi. I listened to him today, and I was touched. Like, do we have fellows like this in Nigeria? I'm very proud of this man. Look at everything that he has touched. He made money for himself in the private sector. He made money for Anambra State in government. Anambra State doesn't borrow money. Are you aware of that? These bailout funds that the current administration is giving states, Anambra State, he left enough for Anambra State. I'm very proud of this man.
When Reno Omokri went and stole the identity of somebody known as Gwende Simlin, I met the mother. I interviewed her. I put it out. That's the evidence. And the woman said, yes, Reno Omokri is an identity thief. When Reno Omokri sent soldiers to the mother's house to eject somebody from their house in Warri or so, I got the information, I put it out on Sahara Reporters. In fact, it led to him being fired by Jonathan, because most people did not know that Reno Omokri did not complete his tenure with Jonathan. Jonathan fired him towards the election because of a lot of criminal activities he was engaging in. Reno Omokri claims to be an Amazon bestseller. Can you just find out how many books he's selling? What's the name of the book? So I'm not personalizing it. I'm just telling you that I am an evidence-based person.
If by some miracle we are able to get a Tinubu to convince his boys and Akpabio and co to pass that electoral amendment bill, what is the guarantee that INEC will not come up with a glitch? That is where plan B has to kick in. It has to be activated. So the only path is free and fair elections. The only path. And the only way to get free and fair elections is electoral reforms, right? Not really. Electoral reform is just plan A. After we get electoral reforms, as hard as that may seem, we must also activate a backup plan that includes several components. We must activate political party reforms. We must activate citizens' real-time election monitoring, which will include real-time election results transmission, collation, and display, parallel to whatever INEC has been forced to do in the Electoral Act. We must activate evidence gathering mechanisms. We must activate systems to de-weaponize poverty. We must activate systems to de-weaponize impunity, like the stuff that is happening against Natasha now. And we must activate systems to open up the political playing field to all Nigerians. Remove all the gates, the money barrier that have been put there, the elite barrier that have been put there. Remove all of them. All of these solutions are things that you can find details to in the description. If our objective is a new Nigeria that works, talking is only 1% of what we need to do. We need structures in place now. Not tomorrow, not 6 months. Structures in place today, right now. For citizens to have their own election monitoring system, real time. A system that is even faster than that of INEC. We need 600,000 polling unit marshals. That's 3 polling unit marshals per polling unit. These will be responsible for entering the results in triplicates into the election monitoring application, Vote Vision. In triplicates. And the beautiful thing is that no polling unit marshal will know who the next polling unit marshal is for that polling unit. So each polling unit marshal will be a check and a balance to the other 2 polling unit marshal in a particular polling unit. Can we do 600,000 polling unit marshal volunteers? I think we can.